Hello? Oh my gosh, I hope this is working. I've never done a live video before. I don't know how to even tell if it's working or not. All right, I've got my girlfriend here, April, so she's gonna have her phone on to see if the live chat works. I've literally never done this, you guys. Oh, there's my chat button. Live chat. Okay. Oh, yay, someone said hello. Thank you so much. Trish from South Carolina, Miller Mommy, hello Kelly. Thank you so much. Now at least I know it's working and hopefully you can hear me. This is so exciting, you guys. I've been so nervous. My girlfriend came over and brought me pizza and she's my tech person. So hopefully if anything goes wrong, she's got my back. But yay, this is so fun, you guys. I'm so excited. Yay. So usually like during the pandemic, I did Zoom classes. And in a Zoom class, you know, we can see each other's faces and we can talk live. And so when I scheduled this, I was like, oh, we'll do a 15-minute kind of back and forth live chat. And then from Arizona, this is so exciting. And then I like scheduled it and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not really a chat except through the, you know, the little tab. So I feel bad. You guys are just kind of listening to me talk for 15 minutes. It's kind of strange. Is it working over there?
Yep.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm so excited. Hello from the Nether. Oh my goodness, Australia. Yay. Watching but not drawing. Oh, hand surgery. This is so exciting. And I can't believe there's people from around the world. Like, I love that you're tuning in the middle of the day or whatever time it is where you are. So I'm in Michigan in the United States. And we had an ice storm today. So it's kind of a wet, dreary, icy day. Kim from Massachusetts, yay! I love seeing people's names too that I've seen on the YouTube station before. Purple Paisley, I know who you are. In Canada, Netherlands, oh my gosh. This is seriously so exciting. So I just thought I'd take a second. Oh, from Oregon, 3 in the afternoon. I'm so glad you joined in. So I thought I would just kind of start by introducing myself. So I'm Kelly, and I, from snowbirding in Florida. Hi, Peggy. Let me see. So my daughter took a Zentangle class. I had no idea what that word even meant. Got your project pack? Awesome. And she took a Zentangle class for kids at like a summer program. And so I dropped her off. She took the class. And when she got home, I was like, what in the world? I love to doodle. I love all those little shapes. Oh, a Canadian border. Now I just keep like stopping to read your things. From France. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. So she came home with these little patterns and I ended up contacting the teacher and I'm like, I want to do this, whatever Zentangle thing is. I need it in my life. And I started taking classes and it was amazing. And then in the summer of 2018, I believe, I had an opportunity to go get trained. And I thought, I'm just going to get trained as a Zentangle teacher just for fun, but I'm never going to actually teach it. And then during the pandemic, I started doing Zoom classes on Monday nights, and I did it for a year. And then after that, I just kind of started making some videos so people could watch them if they didn't catch my lives. And it turned into a YouTube channel. So, oh, from Tampa Bay. Seriously, I'm so excited that you guys wanted to get on and do this. I'm so excited. So that's kind of how I started Zentangling and how I became an instructor. And I'm also a teacher, so I teach reading 4 days a week for first and second graders. And I taught kindergarten for 20 years. So in between that, I learned how to Zentangle, and I absolutely love it. So I just kind of want to go over real quick, like my 15-minute videos. You guys are all so sweet. Mary Lindbergh, yay, hello. You guys are so sweet to even watch, but Zentangle is meant to be something, Appalachian Mountains in Tennessee. This is so exciting. I want to go back and read all these afterwards. So Zentangle, if you've ever taken an actual class, they're about an hour to 2 hours long, and I've taken some that are 3 to 4 hours, and you learn a lot and you really get into like a mode of Zen and calm and you can get really creative and really intricate and beautiful. And when I started making these videos, I was like, when I was a beginner, I just wanted to learn tangles. I just wanted like a new flower tangle or a leaf or a vine. And I kind of like hoarded tangles or collected tangles. And so my thought was, if I just do 15 minutes and teach you one tangle, then that's a good start. And then you're meant to take that and add to it. So, you're supposed to put, 2 or 3 tangles together to create, a beautiful creation. So the live class tonight, we're going to do an hour. Thanks, Eileen. I'm so happy you started doing that. So in our hour class, I have 3 tangles we're doing, 2 that have already been done on my 15 minutes of Zen videos, and then 1 new one for tonight, just because you guys are joining in live. So I'm so excited. So that's going to be really fun. So all you need tonight is a micron pen and a pencil for shading, a tortillon or a little tool for blending. These are called tortillons. You can get them at any art supply store. And then I'm using a 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch tile. So if you're just using regular paper, if you could just draw a square about 3.5 inches, doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what I'm using. And I've done so many of those little 15-minute videos that I got to this tile and I was like, it's huge. I have so much space to fill. So I think that'll be kind of fun to do that. But anyway, and then because it's, oh good, Denise, I'm glad you found it. I don't know how it comes up on the YouTube channel. I don't know if it's an easy thing. I know that I can get an app that will make it really cool and have like a countdown and fun backgrounds, but that was too technologically challenging for me for tonight. So, and my goal, if this goes well tonight and if you guys enjoy it, I'd love to go live like once a month and just see what you guys want to do, what you want to learn, go a little bit deeper than what we do in the 15 minutes of Zen videos. And I would love to do some giveaways next time and just make it really, really fun. This one will be fun, but I just wasn't as prepared as I, kind of hoped to be for things like that. But I also want to give a shout out. So I'm not very tech savvy, and the YouTube business channel, oh, hi, Kim. The YouTube business channel, for some reason for me, is not that intuitive. And so a lot of times I miss messages. I don't see them for a few days. I apologize if that happens. And also there is something called super thanks, which when you are watching any YouTube video, if it's someone who has enough subscribers or whatever, you can, oh, from Florida, I love your little gems, thank you. And another Kim from Massachusetts. So super thanks is something that when you're watching a video, you can click on it and you can pay the YouTuber. I'm not asking you to do that, but I got my first one like last summer maybe. Somebody paid me like $10 and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is the most exciting thing. And then the other day I said to my husband, I think I've had 2 or 3 people that have super thanked me and I need to go on and figure out how to thank them because I don't really get an alert when that says it happens. So I found it and I've had 11 people super thank me, which just like makes me want to cry. I love it. And it's people, someone from South Africa and several from Canada and someone from the UK. And it's so amazing, but I want to say their names real quick. So Paula Muller, thank you so much. Taki Katsi, I'm probably saying your name wrong. Thank you so much for the super thanks. Kay McCabe, Patricia Lackwitz, Elaine Nelson, Catalina, Tracy Gregory, Sylvie Raymond, Janet Farnsworth, Kathy Seidman, and Peggy Murray. And again, I'm not asking you guys to do this, but oh my gosh, it is so sweet that you guys all thought to do that. So I really, really appreciate it. That's so nice of you guys. Yay. All right, if you have any questions, Middle Tennessee. See, now I just want to like travel and do like gatherings and meetups and do Zentangling. And wherever you live, there are probably CZTs near you. And if you go on Zentangle.com, I think there's a link and you can find people near you that Zentangle. And it's so fun when you find like a little group near you that does classes, and it's so fun to do YouTube videos, but when you're in person with a group, it's just magical. Seeing what everybody else comes up with, sharing ideas, it's fantastic. So I hope you all find people near you to do it. So we've got about 5 more minutes. Hi, Valerie. This is honestly, I was like hoping like to get 15 to 20 people to join tonight, and I'm just so excited. We've got 60 people. This is terrifying for me. Okay, does anybody have any questions? I'm trying to think of what I can chat about here. I have 2 teenagers. Is this being recorded? So I think so. I wish I knew the actual answer, but I'm pretty sure this just comes up as a video on my page, and then I can make it public. So, oh, thank you. Thanks for saying I'm doing great. So I think it'll be a video that you already want the once a month class. You guys are so sweet. I can't stop reading all these. The mini mandalas. Oh, good. Yes, I think it'll be a video that I can post maybe tonight, and it'll just be like a regular video. And then if you're rewatching it, you can skip past, you know, this whole 15 minutes here and go right to the class if you want. But yeah, so basically I have 2 teenagers, a teenage son who will be 19 in a few weeks, and a teenage daughter who will be 18, and she graduates from high school this week. So lots of fun stuff. And like I said before, I teach reading to 1st and 2nd graders. So that's been a lot of fun after teaching in a classroom for 20 years. And Zentangle is just kind of my, when I stopped teaching because I had cancer. That's a whole nother story I can tell some other night. But during that, people were giving me like little pens and paper and journals and kits. And I just started Zentangling so much during that. So, hi, Barbara. So that was kind of my go-to when I was too sick, you know, from chemo to like watch television or focus on anything for very long. Zentangle was my go-to. So I have a lot of tangles that I made during that time that I don't even really remember making, but it was during that time because it was very relaxing. So, so hopefully you're not just doing the 15 minutes of Zen, but you're able to find other YouTube videos and other classes. Barbara Langston, she has Not Perfect Zen. She's a fantastic, oh, you're so sweet, Peggy, thank you. She has a fantastic channel, great for beginners. There's also a lot of amazing YouTubers that have really intricate, complicated ones, and go for it. Like, they're amazing, but just don't ever feel overwhelmed by having to make your tile better than the one before, because really, it's meant to be relaxing. You're meant to kind of go into a Zen mode of just feeling calm. And sometimes you get those really complicated ones and it feels like a task. And oh, hi, Barbara Langston. Ah! Follow Barbara, Not Perfect Zen. She's absolutely amazing. We actually took the class together. April from Michigan. She's sitting right beside me. I love it. Yeah, Barbara's amazing. I love it. And Barbara, I know you were doing like work with veterans, and that was kind of your passion, I think, when I met you. You're amazing. So I'm so glad you're here tonight. But so, yeah, so Zentangle is not meant to be a complicated thing. And even like our tile we're making tonight, I don't want you to focus on making it perfect or making it look exactly like mine. Hopefully you can just relax and enjoy just making the lines and just seeing what happens. So many of the tangles that I have done in the moment, I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna put this aside, I don't love it. And I look at it a week or 2 later, I'm like, oh, actually, I kind of like that. So again, just kind of relaxing and enjoying the moment. So I think we're about ready to start the class. So Anna from Canada, hi. Okay, so what kind of paper? So all that I use is the Zentangle tiles from zentangle.com. That's all that I use. But oh good, you just subscribed to Barbara. Everyone subscribe to Barbara. She's amazing. But any kind of art paper, a little bit thicker. But if you get like the what is it called? Like a multi-purpose paper. Any kind of a high quality art paper. And then I use these Sakura Micron pens because they just glide really well over this thicker paper. So that's what I recommend. Okay, so now to do the class, I'm gonna have to pick up the phone and move it, and then my face won't be on it for the next hour. So that's kind of a good thing. So Miller Mommy says cardstock, multimedia paper. That's the other word I was looking for. Multimedia paper that can take paint and markers and nice pens. But the other thing with Zentangle is you can do it with a crayon. You can do it, the Zentangle creators are like you can do it with a stick in the sand at the beach. Like you don't have to be anything super fancy. Cold pressed, that's what Purple Paisley said. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, cool. So you can keep chatting. I'm going to look up every couple of minutes and try to catch the chats, but I'm going to awkwardly move my phone. Oh, watercolor paper also. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can switch my view. Okay. Hopefully this works, and hopefully you can still hear me. And my friend April here will let me know if I need to respond to some chats. Hello from Sonoma. Hi. Okay, so I've got my Micron pen. I typically use a PN. It's a plastic nib pen. I always use it for my videos because it shows up a little bit thicker. But it has a plastic nib, which means that it's not going to bend or break as easily as the like O1s and O3s. But if you like doing a lot of detail work, the O1 and O3 are absolutely like so delicate. All right, will you erase that? Are you able to? Sorry, got some inappropriate chats and I don't know how to stop them. I don't know if you can. All right, we'll just ignore the inappropriate chats, and if it keeps up, I'll see if I can adjust to get that taken off. Okay, so I have my 3.5-inch tile. My 15-minute of Zen videos, I do not go through the 8 steps of Zentangling, but I did want to show this to everybody. This is just a little bookmark that has their basic 8 steps. Aw, thank you. Thank you for deleting that. That is honestly so nice of you. Okay. All right, so this one says gratitude and appreciation. So just taking a moment, like I'm feeling so much gratitude right now and appreciation for all of you. For 10,000 subscribers, I just never ever imagined it going that far. So I appreciate all of you. We're gonna make corner dots, which is one of the first things we always do to kind of make our tile have a little picture frame. Then we're gonna do a border. A string I don't talk about in my little tangles because we don't really need to break up the tile in those small ones. Then we're going to tangle, which is drawing, shade it, initial it, and take a minute to appreciate. So there are 8 steps in Zentangling. All right, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to write the names of the tangles we're doing. So we're going to do Yolo. That pen does not work. Yolo by Angie Giddles. And she is a CZT. Is that coming out okay, April? Yes. Can you see it okay? Is it focused? Yep. Okay. All right, so we're doing Yolo. We're going to do Henna Drum, another one of my all-time favorites. And Henna Drum is by Jane McCougler. So the Zentangle company has a whole set of tangles that they have deconstructed, kind of the basic tangles, and then people all over the world, a lot of them are also CZTs, are constantly creating beautiful tangles for all of us to use. Okay, the last one, the new one, is Cora Flex. I wanted to put a newer one in here for you guys that I haven't done before. And I'm not sure how to say this name. So I'm not going to, but she is also a CZT, a certified Zentangle teacher. My writing isn't as clear.
I don't want to see it.
Okay, is it? All right, I'll see if I can try to focus it a little bit more. Okay. Can't see that last name. Saxena. Kind of blurry. I don't know. Maybe if I go a little closer. Sorry about that. When I record my videos, I'm able to tap it and focus. So hopefully this is a little bit better. Oh, Nancy said it's better. Okay, those are our 3 tangles. So we're going to start with our pencil, not our pen. And we're going to put a little dot in each of the 4 corners, just nice and lightly. And then we connect these dots, and it does not have to be straight. They can be rounded, wiggly, whatever you'd like. But this is one of the first things that I was drawn to in Zentangle, is that it made this little frame. And the reason they came out with these tiles is so that it's not an overwhelming, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper or a poster board. We always have this small area that is easily completable in a small amount of time. All right, doing good, April?
Yep.
Okay, so there is our frame. And the next thing we do is we're supposed to break this up into areas to tangle in, but I'm actually going to use our Yolo tangle to separate this tile today. Okay, so Yolo is a wavy line. I'm going to start it right at this point here. And I'm just going to do a few little waves. And as we draw today, because we only have an hour, I want you to kind of think big. So when we make our shapes, we're going to go a little bit bigger than we might normally, so we can fill up the space. Okay, so we've got that wavy line, and then on the inner curve of each line, we're going to follow it up and come out into a spiral. So mine's even kind of small. You can make it larger than that. And then on the inside of this one, we're going to come up and we're going to curve out. Make that one a little bit bigger. I love spirals. I love waves. This one is so pretty. Then we're going to go on the inside of this one and come out into a curve again, a spiral. I'm using a Micron PN plastic nib, but any pen you use is going to work great. So the 01 is a very nice, fine, detailed one. This one tends to write a little bit darker. I have one more curve, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go right to the end of this just because it works out. I'm going to put my little curve up there. I feel like every time I draw, it's refocusing. I apologize. I don't know how to change that. So you may have 2 or 3 spirals. I ended up with 4. It doesn't matter. Okay, then we find this little V shape in between the spiral and our line, and we're going to put what's typically called a seed pod. So it's this little pointy shape. And then inside that, I'm going to put a line and a dot or 2. Find the V shape right here in between the curve and the spiral. Again, think kind of big, don't make these too tiny. And add a cute little detail. I'm going to make myself go bigger over here. Looking for that V in between the line and that curve. And I'm not going to put one up here just because I don't really have a good spot for it. So I'm just going to do those right now. And then I'm going to add a second one next to it. So right where that first one was, I'm just going to put another one in. Same thing over here. This is going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm going to do one more up here. So if I'm ever making a tile with just Yolo on it, like you can put these little petals on both sides and really fill it up. You can even add more spirals and more details. I'm just going to put the 2 today because I want to leave these bumps for something else. But there's lots you can do with it. Okay, and then in between that first little petal I made and that first curve, I'm going to put an orb. An orb is just a circle. I'll put a little reflection in mine. And I think I'm going to put one right here in between that spot. You don't have to do these exactly where I am. I'm going to fill in that dark area underneath. Just adding these little orbs makes it so pretty without having to do a lot of work. Beautiful so far. Thanks, Kim. Okay, and then up here I'm going to add one. Add one in between that leaf and the curve over here. Put these wherever you want. All right, I'll give you a second to catch up. I do love it so far. And then this tile is going to have a lot to it. So I'm going to aura this entire part that I already made. I don't always aura right away, but for this one, I just feel like it separates this Yolo and keeps it looking beautiful in the middle without getting lost. So to aura, I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go right alongside the entire piece. When I get to this curve, I'm just going to dip in a little bit and then come back out. And I get to an orb, I just jump over it, around the leaf. Yes, Katie says she loves Yolo. Me too. If you get a chance to follow Angie Gittles, she has some incredible classes that she hosts. She's amazing. I don't like that this keeps getting blurry. I apologize. So just go all the way around, keep it kind of thin. I'm trying to use my pen at an angle so it doesn't go blurry, but then it's jumping a little bit. There we go. Is it going okay?
Yep, it's looking good. It keeps correcting itself, so it's good.
Yeah, I don't know how to get it to not be blurry. Okay. So that one is Yolo. So now we're going to do another favorite of mine and of many tanglers, which is Henna Drum. And I just read that Jan McCougler came up with this tangle when she was with her friend who was playing drums or had a drum set. And she had done like henna designs all over her drum. And so she took one of those designs and called it Henna Drum, which I thought was a cute story. Okay, so now I'm going to choose one of my little bumpy areas right here, like an area that doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. And I'm going to put this little crescent shapes. Thank you, Barbara. From my end, it keeps getting blurry, but as long as you guys are okay with that. All right, so we color in this little half circle. And then we aura that. So aura, we're just putting that line around it. And then to make these petals, I want to think about going out kind of far. I don't want to make a little teeny tiny henna drum in here. I really want to make this kind of big. So I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm going to put 2 lines out. And then just put a little wiggly top on it. And I do that again, right beside it, and add a wiggly top. And now I have to go behind this shape. So I'm just gonna imagine my pen would come back here and then come out that way. And right here, we can't see the top of that petal at all. Kind of tucked back in there. I love that look. And then I'm going to make these little flicks. So I'm going to start at that aura, and I'm going to push my pen down kind of hard and lift it and flick it out. And that gives a thicker line that gets a little bit thin as it goes out. And then I add a couple tiny lines along that base where they fit. And like I did before, I'm going to aura this just like I did to Yolo. So I'm just going to add this thin line all the way around. If you think it's beautiful now, wait till we add some shading. It just looks amazing. Okay, now I'm going to pick this other side over here where I've got a bumped out area. And this can go anywhere. If you don't have a clear spot, then put it outside of the petals. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put one right here. So I do that half circle, color it in, add my aura. And I like to start with that middle petal. And again, try to make it go out pretty far. Don't be afraid to use up our space. And when it bumps into something, just let it go behind. And then I'm gonna aura. Isn't that gorgeous? I really want to start doing more videos where I combine several of the 15 minutes of Zen tangles and putting them into a larger tile, because it's so amazing. If any of you did Inktober with me or with Barbara or with anybody, there's so many variations, and it's so beautiful when you put tangles together. It's amazing what you can make. Okay, I'm gonna do another henna drum over here because I have a spot. If you don't have a spot, put it against one you already have. Honestly, it doesn't matter. But I've got this area over here. Do the half circle, and don't forget to aura. The aura adds a lot. And I forgot to add my details in this last one. Okay, I'm gonna go back and add my flicks. Getting ahead of myself. Inktober was really fun. It was. I'm so excited to do it again this year. The tangles they come up with, so many of them I've never even seen. It's so exciting. So I've got my little flicks and my big flicks. Okay. Half circle, aura it. And now this pencil line is my little frame, but it's just a suggestion. So I love to make my tangles go right over the frame. If you don't want to do that, you can stop your tangle at the line. But I love the look. April says she loves both ours, mine, and Barbara's. I know Barbara's been doing it for a few years. She's got a lot of great videos. And Barbara's really good at offering variations. I'm just kind of like, here it is, enjoy. And Barbara's really good at offering other ways to do each tangle, which is magical. Or that, add your big flicks and some little ones. So beautiful. Hopefully you're all doing okay. I tend to draw quickly, so if you need me to slow down, let me know. It's already 7:20, so we've got about 40 minutes to finish this up. Seems like our tile's almost full, but we've got some fun things to do and then some shading. Okay, so now before I do any more henna drum, I'm gonna put in this new one that I learned. It's not necessarily a new tangle, it's just a new to me tangle. So this is called Cora Flex, and it's kind of a leaf shape. If yours doesn't turn out like a leaf, don't worry about it. Okay, so to do this, if you want to start in pencil, you can, but it starts out with an S shape. So I'm going to go up here, and it makes this little kind of a narrow S shape like that. And then we go from the point, go kind of wide, and then go back down into that point. And then I'm going to take my pencil for this part, and I'm just going to draw lightly like a leaf shape pattern on the outside. Okay. So I'm going to go from that bottom point, and I'm going to come up. It's called Cora Flex, and I did not read how she came up with this name, but I feel like this is kind of the core, the middle, and then we add these little flux shapes. So I'm going to add a little flux right at the bottom. I'm just doing one side at a time. And then I do another one this way, and you can bring it all the way down in like a true flux, but I kind of like to stop mine at the top of the other one. And I'm using that pencil line as a guide for how far I want these to go. So I'm kind of dipping back down into that V part and coming up and over. Back down into that V, up and over. And dipping down into that V gives it this look like it's kind of all tucked in there. I'm going to go ahead and finish this so that I can get my hand out of the way. And I just go all the way up to the top, and that pencil line disappears behind all those pretty little flux shapes. I love it so much that you guys are all here. This is so exciting. I was so excited that I was getting close to 10,000. In the Zentangle community, there's just so many amazing people and so many amazing stories. And if you get a chance to become a CZT and go to the training, it's just such a wonderful experience. And it's so fun. It's so fun that you're all here and doing this live with me. Someone lost sound. All right, did anybody else lose sound? Hopefully not. I'm not sure how to fix that. Okay, you can hear me. All right, I'm sorry if you lost sound. Hopefully it's on your end and not something I did. Oh yeah, closed captions might work. Okay, all right, I'm going to, oh, Purple Paisley wants to do the CZT training. It's amazing, it's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the flux on the other side. And I'm just kind of tucking them in here because I have this henna drum in the way. Dipping down in that little V, coming up to that pencil line. Look how cute that is. I love it so much. All right, one of the ways that she then decorated it was to put orbs in the center. I'm going to make mine quick and then I'm going to get my hand out of the way so it's not blurry. But you fill it with these cute little orbs. And then take your pen and fill in that white space around the orbs. Isn't that so cute? I love it. Cora Flex. All right, I'm going to turn my tile around and do another one on this side. It doesn't matter where these go. Yours can go out towards the edge. They can just take up this whole space, whatever you want to do. But we put in that S shape. And then go from one end to the other and just kind of bump it out a little bit in the middle. Love Cora Flex, so pretty. I know, isn't it great? There's so many great tangles, so many creative people out there coming up with all of these. So in a few minutes, as I'm having you catch up, I'll tell you a little bit about the beginning of Zentangle and how Rick and Maria came up with it. Okay, so I've got that S shape, and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to just put in like the sides of that leaf. Look at how much space that takes up. I love that. Okay, so now I'm going to start on this side here. And I put in that first little flux shape if I can fit the whole thing, if nothing's in the way. And I just keep adding these. And you can make them as narrow and detailed and delicate as you want, or you can make them a little bit bigger. I was so nervous about choosing a tile to do tonight, and when I started imagining Yolo and Henna Drum, it was like, oh, it's gonna be so fun. Doesn't even matter how it turns out. It's just gonna be so fun to make. So I kind of love this. Right, I'm gonna do the other side. I've got something in the way, so I'm just gonna imagine how it would come out. Dip down into that little crevice. Bonjour de gracie. I wish I could speak other languages. I love that. All right, going down, coming back up. That is so cute. I'm going to put the orbs in this one. And then we're actually going to do one more, and I'll show you something else we can do in the center. I love it. I hope you're loving yours. That's such a cute tangle. All right, I'm going to do one more Cora Flex. So I'm going to put it up in here. Doesn't matter where you put yours. We're just kind of filling in that white space. I'm going to do a backwards S this time, just to make it look a little bit different. And then I'm actually going to fill the center first. So I love these orbs. I think that looks so cool. And another thing you can do is just simply put in some lines. So make this however you want. And then I'm going to put in those leaf shape edges. And I'm just going to do that again. So the other thing with Zentangle is that, you know, the more complicated you get, the more stressful it is. And if you can pick something, oh, I'm glad you like yours, Barbara. If you can pick something that's repeatable and doable, you will find a place of calm much quicker than if you're overanalyzing how to draw a shape. All right, putting in some on this side. Again, I'm only going quickly so that I can get my hand out of the way. So look at how that has such a different look to it when we put those lines in the middle instead of the orbs. Still beautiful, just a different look. So now at this point, I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to catch up or add more if you want. I am going to show you my finished one that I did as my sample, because I want you to show that it turned out differently. And we still have more to add, so, but I want to show you this one. So on this one, it's the same size tile, but then, you know, I put in my first 3 henna drums, and then I had extra space. So I tucked in one there, I put one coming off the edge over here, and I tucked one over here. I do think it's going to be available to watch later, Sharon. I'm assuming it's recording right now, and so then when it's done, I can just post it as one of my regular videos. So sorry you're not feeling well. Thank you so much for joining. But yeah, so this just gives you an idea of how you can fill that space with even more. So mine is pretty full, but maybe I'll tuck in one more henna drum here just to kind of show you. It's a narrow spot, but you just make it work. So I'm going to put my little moon shape over here, or half circle, I guess. Add my aura. It's so fun that you can just tuck these things in wherever you want. Maybe find a spot to add one more henna drum or one more Cora Flex. So Zentangle was found by Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas, and she's an artist. She's been drawing flowers and botanicals for years, and he realized that she was finding calm. She would sit in her, you know, in her studio for hours just adding these little details to her flower pictures. And he was like, hey, I think this is something that people need in their lives, a way to kind of calm down through drawing. But her botanicals that she was drawing were so beautiful and so complicated, and definitely from like a seasoned artist. And so together they found ways to find flowers, leaves, patterns in nature, architecture, things, they travel all over the world looking for patterns in carpet, on walls, and in buildings. And then they deconstruct those patterns into, oh, I'm so glad those have helped. They have deconstructed those into easier. Barbara, thank you so much for joining. Yes, shout out to your Not Perfect Zen channel. Follow Barbara, she's amazing, you'll love her. So they took these complicated things and made them simpler and more attainable for the rest of us who are maybe not so artsy. So I love that they did that. Okay, I tucked in my other henna drum, and now my space is really full. So I'm not going to add any more henna drum or Cora Flex at this point. But what I am going to do right now is ink in my border. So I just have to find that original pencil border. and I'm tracing it wherever I can see it. And then when I bump into a flower, I just jump over it, come out the other end. And I love that look of the pieces going over it. This is a very full tile. I hope you guys like it. All right, I am going to add a few more things. So whenever I make a tile or put my tangles together, I tend to add orbs to sort of fill in the extra spaces. So that just means I'm just going to pop in a circle or two every so often. And I'm going to aura that little orb. I'm glad you love it, Sharon. I'm going to find another spot to put one. And aura. These are just such nice little fillers. I think on my first tile, and I will show that one again, on my first tile, ooh, you threw in some fescue. I know, it's so hard not to add fescue. They're so beautiful on anything. I love that. I think on my first tile, I auraed around that Cora Flex also, but it wasn't really necessary. Now I'm going to take some of my small spaces, and you don't have to do this, but I'm going to ink in that background. If you have a lot of background, you don't have to do this, or you can add a little more of that Cora Flex or just Flex by itself. So Flex by itself is just, here, I'll draw one right here. It's just this teardrop shape with a line and a dot. And if I add anything small like that, I do like to put that aura around it. But that uses up some of that background. Oh, Kim, I'm sorry you missed part of that. Yeah, you can watch it later. It should be available on YouTube tonight as long as this recorded. The flower is called Henna Drum. Henna Drum. All right, now I'm just going around and I'm finding these little empty spaces and I'm inking them in. And if the space is too big, then I'm adding an orb. So like right here, I don't really want to color this whole thing in. So I just add this cute little circle and I go around it. And I can ink in the leftover spots. And of course you can grab a thicker pen for this. I used to grab a Sharpie and just like fill it in really quickly, and now I enjoy just using my thin pen and taking my time. If you see any other spots, like this little spot right here was kind of open, I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to put a big orb in there to fill this in. When you do a large tile like this, you do not need to fill in every single space. I just liked how this looked with that background colored. You don't have to push down too hard. If you have a nice pen, let the pen do the work. Got a lot of space over here. I just want to say again, thank you so much for subscribing. You know, it's one thing to go on YouTube and just watch someone's video once or twice and move on. But when you subscribe to someone's channel, it really helps. Just, I don't know how, it just, you know, alerts other people that this channel has subscribers, and it helps my videos get recommended to groups. So I really do appreciate it. Got a little bit of area over here. But I think I filled in all of my areas. Okay, I see this little tiny one here. this set for a second so you can peek at it. I just keep finding little areas to color in. Aw, thank you for telling your friends about me. I appreciate it. Inside my orbs, I'm putting these little reflections. So this is a great time, if you get this part done, to take a picture before you shade it, because shading it is going to change this whole thing. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to put both of mine on the screen right now just for a minute so you can peek at them or take a screenshot if you want so you can remember it for later. Both similar tiles, just a little bit different layout. And you can see on the other tile I did that I put that aura around the Cora Flex. Not necessary, but just a different thing you can do. Okay, before I do my shading, I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to add an aura around the line border. So I'm drawing it. When I get to a flower or a leaf, I stop, pick up my pen, and go out the other side. But this little detail of adding another line. Oh, thanks, Veronique. This little extra line adds so much. And then also before I shade, I'm going to add my initials, and always initial your work. Initial it or sign your whole name, something on the front, just to mark that it's yours. So I'm going to put my initials down here. Then I'm going to put my pen down and pick up my pencil for shading. Sorry if you're not quite ready for shading yet, but you might want to just grab your pencil and do it anyway, and then you can go fill in the final details later. Okay, so shading is something that in the beginning used to scare me. I don't understand where a light source comes in and how things are meant to look. But with Zentangle, we're really just imagining the light coming down from the top, and we're kind of stacking our tangles. So you don't need a lot of graphite to make this happen, and it just turns out amazing. So I'm going to start with my Yolo, and I'm going to go along the outside edge, and I'm just going to put in a little bit of pencil line around that entire aura. So I'm just putting in a little bit of this graphite right along Yolo. And I'm going to do it even on the outside where it goes over my frame a little. When there's a lot of ink, I don't have to add the graphite because you won't see it anyway, but it feels like a maze, like we're following that first curvy line that we made all the way around. And then I pick up my blending tool. This is called a tortillon. You can get blending tools on Amazon. You can get them on Zentangle.com. You can get them at any craft store. They're very inexpensive and a really nice tool to have. So now I'm just going to smooth this out. I'm doing little circles right now, but you're just basically softening that line so that you don't have a hard edge. And by softening that line, you're going to make that Yolo sort of stand out in the center of our tile. The more I shake, the more my table shakes. I apologize. And your goal is a softened line that goes from darker to lighter. You want it to be a smooth transition from the dark spots to the light. And look at how that makes that Yolo just kind of jump out at you. I love that. Okay, now inside Yolo, where these little leaves are, I'm gonna put a little bit of graphite in that little V shape at the bottom of each of those leaves. So just putting a little bit in there at the bottom. And then I can soften those and push them up into the leaf just a little bit. And look at how it makes it look like those are tucking down in there. See, shading's not as hard as we think it's going to be. So I always start with the first shape that I made, which is Yolo. And now I'm gonna go to Henna Drum because that's the next one I made. So in Henna Drum, over that half circle and then the aura, I'm gonna put a little bit where I did those flicks. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on each Henna Drum where I made those flick shapes. Don't forget, if you added one later, do that one now too. And then we soften those out a little bit. You do want to leave white space. You don't want your whole thing to be covered in graphite. So spread it out a little bit, but don't take it too far up the petals. Look how amazing that's looking. So now I'm gonna go on the outside of each Henna Drum. So I've got this one here that goes over the edge a little bit. And I'm just gonna put some graphite around that aura. And especially where it goes over another tangle. So this Henna Drum looks like it's, oh, I'm bumping it. Shading is not hard, just feels wrong to smear black over the beautiful lines. You are so right. It does feel wrong, but it turns out so amazing, so be brave. Okay, so right here, this Henna Drum looks like it's going over this leaf, and so I really want there to be some shading there. I find my next Henna Drum, and I put some along the outside. And my next one. Maybe that's what I was afraid of in the beginning, is I didn't want to ruin my picture by adding all this graphite. But it's so amazing. All right, I'm gonna soften around these Henna Drums. This one has a lot of shading because we put a lot of small shapes in there. But look, when you look at mine right now, like look at how far back this little one looks. And there's a leaf above it, and then there's another Henna Drum. Like it just looks so layered. It's so cool. And I have to go up to this Henna Drum, and you can see how flat this one looks against these two leaves. So we're gonna change that by adding some graphite. Show detected text seems to focus on the pen. Ooh, okay, I'll have to look into that for next time. Thank you. I really don't like that it gets blurry. So I'm taking this Henna Drum up here, which goes over some orbs and over those Cora Flex. And I just put that graphite all the way around it. Yeah, the tip of starting with the first tangle, shading can get overwhelming, but if you start where you started, it helps keep you on track a little bit. So my Henna Drums are done. All I have left is my leaves. So I'm going to do the outside of my leaves first. So like this one, I've got ink here, but I'm going to put it on the outside and the outside of here where it's over a henna drum. And push that out a little. I feel like this is my most favorite tile ever. I don't know why. It just looks so springy and so fun. Do you like it? Yay! And then this Cora Flex over here, I'm going to put it on the outside. I know sometimes it's hard to follow along with a live because maybe you filled up your tile too fast or you still need to add things, but please don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. Hopefully I can post this later if you need to go back and watch any part of it. So I just did my 2 top leaves. Even where the one leaf goes over the other one, add that little bit of shading. And then on those leaves, we have that middle stem, and I'm going to put a little bit of graphite on the outside of that center stem, where our little flux shapes kind of went down and tucked in. And by doing that, it makes our leaf look like it has some dimension, like it's puffing out at the edges and going down in the middle. This is so much shading, I apologize. Okay, do this one. Just along that little stem area. That's a lot of shading. And now my tortillon is dirty. It's got the graphite on it. And I've got these big white swirls, and I'm just gonna take my tortillon and just put like a little bit of a shadow in there. Just because they're so bright on this page. Thank you for saying that watching the shading helps. I do feel like it took me a long time to figure out when my instructor was like, just put a little bit of graphite in here. I was like, no, it covers up my work. It's not gonna look right. But yeah, after her encouraging me and watching videos, it doesn't have to be that scary. Aw, thank you. This has turned out so beautiful. I hope you all love yours. I love it so much. So my tile is done. I've got it initialed. I have all of my shading done. Some people love to add color afterwards. You can do watercolor, colored pencil. You kind of are making your own little coloring book. I tend to just do black and white. If I add color, it kind of scares me, but feel free to add color. It can look absolutely amazing. And then on the back, I always write the tangles that I used, because I always think I'm going to remember them, and I don't. And then I write the date. Yes to colors, Miller Mommy. See? Oh, Valerie, I'm glad you're able to follow along. Yeah, some people just absolutely love doing colors. There's a woman I follow in Florida, Susan Moan, and she does a lot of, look up Susan Moan. She's amazing, M-O-E-N, and she does a lot of like ink tints, colored pencils, I think, and they're just amazing. She adds color to everything. So I would add the date on the back, and then I also always add a little journal entry. So like my journal entry for this one would be that it's my very first YouTube live, and so I would write that on there. If there's something going on in your life and your family, whatever, it's just fun to put a little journal entry and the date. And there it is. I'm so excited. So thank you so much for joining me. I feel like this went well, and I would love to try to do one at least once a month and just give us a time to chat. Don't forget to hit the like button. Aw, thank you, Miller Mommy. Yes, please like it. And it's hard to share on YouTube for you guys to share your work, but I will post this on my Facebook page called Let's Tangle, and I would love for you to post your work that you did tonight. So I'm so thrilled. Okay, so someone just said she's working with a ballpoint pen on scrap paper, and it's beautiful. See, you don't even need all the fancy tools. Anything you have, and you can make some beautiful shapes. So thank you so much, you guys. My heart is so full right now. I love it. So Facebook, Let's Tangle, and share your work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all the subscribers. So we'll keep this going. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are amazing. I don't want to stop reading everybody's little notes, so I was going to log off, but this is so much fun. And maybe for the next one, I'll try to have a topic, whether it's shading or you know, botanical tangles or something that we can kind of, you know, delve into a little bit deeper than I do in my videos. So thank you, thank you. Thank you for everybody who took time out of their day to do this. I appreciate it. Please do this more often. I will try. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, I miss seeing your faces and seeing what you've done. Usually at the end of a Zoom class, you can all hold up your work and I can tell you how amazing you are, but I'm just assuming that you all did fantastic. All right, thank you so much. I'm going to log off and I'll try to post this video later. Bye-bye.